hope you're all well. I hope you're doing all the things that you need to do to stay well and stay healthy and safe. That's really important that we do that. And I want you to know that I miss you all so much, and I look forward to the day when we can all gather again in Sunday school. That will be a wonderful, wonderful time. So, you've been learning about angels. You've learned about some of the angels in the Bible, and you learned about some angels that are in my life. And the Sunday school teachers have begun telling you the stories of the angels in their life because they think it's really important that you hear from them to remind you that they miss you just as much as I do. And they want you to hear about the angels that are in their lives. So remember, the first Sunday school teacher who brought her message was Jessica. Jessica told the story of the angel in her life, Bailey, her dog. Remember when Bailey came to Sunday school and she sat in the middle of all of you with a big smile on her face, and she wagged her tail and licked your faces and showed you what unconditional love looks like. And that's the kind of love God gives us. It's unconditional love. So Bailey is Jessica's angel. And then last week, Mrs. Ure told us the story of a very special plant that grows in her yard, and it's called the May apple flower. And it's a very unique plant, especially because the flower is not up at the top of the leaves, but underneath the leaves. So in this plant, you really have to look for the flower. And that's true about angels, right? You really have to look for them sometimes. They're not always visible. They're not always obvious. They are there, but we often don't see them, or we have to look really hard for them. And that's what this plant reminds Mrs. Ure of, and that angels are all around us, but sometimes you have to look for them. And sometimes they're very unique, just like this plant where the flower grows under the leaves instead of on top of the leaves. And also, it's an angel to Mrs. Ure because it reminds her of her father. It blooms every May around the time of her father's birthday. And when it blooms, it reminds her of her father, who was very, very important to her. So that was the story from Mrs. Ure, the angel in her life. And today I'm going to read to you the story from Miss Carol. Miss Carol teaches the Fun and Games Learning Center, and she misses you an awful lot too. So I would like to read to you her story of the angel in her life. She says, I have a good friend who was recently given a small rose quartz. Now, quartz is a really, really firm rock, really, really hard. In this case, it's a rose-colored, kind of pink. So her friend was given a really small rose quartz angel by a local merchant whom she does business with. She tells us, she says, Donna was telling the man in the store about her son, who was very sick. And when she was leaving the store, the owner ran out and gave her the rose quartz angel. She told me that when this happened, it brought tears of joy to her. That is what some people call random acts of kindness, Miss Carol says. That's a really sweet story, right? I love that. So I'm wondering, do you know what a random act of kindness is? We've talked about it before in Sunday school, and we've done some things that were quite random. But a random act of kindness is something that's done that isn't planned, but it's designed to offer kindness and love towards someone or the world. I didn't know this, but in the 1980s, a revolution of practicing random acts of kindness happened because of this woman named Ann Herbert, who one day while in a diner wrote on a placemat, she wrote, practice random acts of kindness and selfless acts of beauty. She wrote that on a placemat. And I wonder that if, when she wrote that, did she know that she was going to start a revolution? A revolution of people giving others random acts of kindness and acts of beauty. I think she was an angel, don't you? Maybe she knew that she was starting something. I don't know. I don't think so. But she did. She started something really, really wonderful that continues on today, where people offer random acts of kindness. So Miss Carol's story doesn't end there. It goes on. So let me read to you the rest of her story. Miss Carol writes, "On my recent birthday, April 26th, I opened my gift from Donna. It was a lovely lantern for my porch. Donna told me to keep looking in the bag, as there was another gift." Can you guess what it was? Miss Carol writes, "It was the rose quartz angel." So in our story from Miss Carol, she tells us that her dear friend Donna was her angel, because she forwarded on that random act of kindness to her. She gave that gift that was very special to her. She gave that to Miss Carol, and that meant so much to Miss Carol, that kindness that she gave, that random act of that beautiful small quartz angel. That is really special. And that's what random acts of kindness are. They are special. They're things that we do for others that we know will bring them joy, kindness, and comfort. And when Miss Donna received that gift from the merchant, it did just that. It provided her kindness and comfort. And Donna, Miss Carol's friend, knew that Miss Carol needed that too. So she passed on that gift to Miss Carol. And you know what? She did what God calls all of us to do, and that is to love and care for one another. And when we have opportunities such as that, that's what God calls us to do, to find ways in which we can offer kindness and happiness and comfort to other people. So in this story from Miss Carol, she tells us about the angel in her life, which was her dear friend, who passed on the gift that she received, the gift of the quartz angel. And I'll bet you that that angel lives somewhere very close to Miss Carol to remind her every day of the friendship that she has with Miss Donna. That's really special. So, we're talking about angels. And I thought it would be really fun for us to make an angel together. We haven't done a craft together in a very long time. So I thought today is a good day to do that. So we are going to make an angel. And I'll show you what mine looks like. Now, yours always turns out much better than mine. But here's mine. There's a picture of my angel. Now, this can be made out of things that you already have at home. In this case, we have construction paper. This is a coffee filter, and this is cupcake liners, just a standard size. And this is just a piece of construction paper that I cut out round. So, what you're going to need is a cupcake liner, which you will cut in half. Cut your liner in half like this. I should have kept it together for you. But anyway, there's your cupcake liner. Cut it in half. So you'll need that. Then you're going to need a coffee filter, just like this. And what you're going to do is you're going to fold the coffee filter in half and then fold it again. So it looks like this. That will be the skirt of the angel. You're going to cut your cupcake liner in half. So this will be the wings. Now, if you don't have a cupcake holder, you could use anything really. But if you have a paper doily, something like this one happens to be red. I also have some in white. If you have paper doilies at home, they work really good too. You would cut it in half look at that, you would have wings. So you either use cupcake holders or paper doilies. Use what you have. Now, if you don't have either one, you could make your own wings out of construction paper, but I'm pretty sure you probably have some cupcake liners. And then what you're going to need is a glue stick or any kind of glue and a pair of scissors. Now, if you want to make the head out of construction paper, what I used to trace the head was a miniature cup. But find something at home that would do for a head. And you just trace it and cut it out. So there's the head. So I'm going to try and make it really, really quick. I miss doing crafts with you. And when I saw this, I thought, boy, it would be so fun if my kids were here and we could do this together and talk like we always do. But not now. We'll do it again. So you're going to take your little disc or your mini cupcake holder, if you have one, and you're going to glue it onto your paper like this. Pretty simple, right? Good. Then you're going to take your cupcake holder that you've cut in half, and you're going to glue the back of the cupcake liner with your glue, and you're going to paste it on to your construction paper like this. There's one. Let me glue the other side on there. So, have you been more aware of the angels in your lives since we've been talking about angels? I'm hoping that through this discussion that we've been having, that you are more aware of the angels in your lives, which are messengers from God. So, okay, there's the wings. Now you take your your coffee filter. You folded it in half and then you folded it again so it looks like this. You are going to glue the back of that coffee filter, which is now the skirt of the angel. You're going to glue it and then glue it onto your angel. Oh, come on here. You're going to glue it on, and then it's going to look like this. Now, on mine, I wrote a little message which says, "You are an angel," which you are. And I thought that you could make one for yourself, hang it somewhere to remind you of the angels in your lives. Hang it on the window so people walking by can see that there is an angel living in that house. Lots of angels living in your house. You can make one for yourself to remind you of angels all around you. But you know what else? You can make another one for somebody else who needs to be reminded of God's love. You can make an angel, and on the back, write something really nice on the back. A kind word, or say something like, "You are being prayed for," or "I love you, I care about you, I hope you're having a good day." You can write anything. You can even write something funny, might make somebody laugh. Give it to a friend, give it to a neighbor, give it to somebody you don't know. Put it in somebody's mailbox. That's offering a random act of kindness. That's what we're all called to do, is to bring some happiness and joy into other people's lives. So make an angel for someone. Make an angel for yourself, and make one for someone else. After we do our little stories of angels, I think we will talk a little bit more about some random acts of kindness that you could be doing during this pandemic. There are lots of things that we can do to bring God's love into the world and be angels to one another. So that's our story from Miss Carol. I look forward to bringing you the other stories from the other teachers. And they're really good. They're really lovely, and they have some great messages in them. So I look forward to reading those stories to you from your teachers. So until then, I want to say, please stay well, stay safe, do all the things you need to do to stay safe. And as always, remember to wash your hands. Please know that I pray for you every day. I think of you all the time. I miss you tremendously, but we will be together again. And until then, come see the YouTube messages that I give for you. And also, I want to remind you that there is a meditation for you. The meditation that we always do at the end of Sunday school, it is available for you on YouTube. So if you would like to do that with your family, have a meditation time, that would be really fun to do. And it's good to do. I've been doing it up here in Sunday school, and I love doing it. I pretend that you're all there with me when I do it. So you take care of yourself. I love you. I will see you soon. And may God be with each and every one of you, little angels. Bye-bye.